Hello there everyone, it's soon about to be Persona's 25th anniversary. Well, technically this year is the 25th anniversary of the Persona series. And for this video, we're gonna, take a look real quick. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects coming our way when it comes to Persona. And in this video, I'm gonna make my predictions as to what they are. Now, I'm gonna say this right away. I expect each of these guys to appear in something new, be it a port or remake or a sequel of some sorts, okay? Or even a spin-off title like, say, Persona Q. All right, so that is the one thing I want to say right away. That is what I expect, but it's just best to get into it, right? So let's start off with this first one, because obviously this one's a little bit funny. You can see a bit of yellow, it's staticky. This one's pretty obvious as to what this is going to be, right? They already ported Persona 4 Golden, so obviously one of the next steps is Persona 4 Dancing. No, but this is obviously going to be Persona 4 Arena. The static even just blatantly hits at it, because the whole thing about Persona 4 Arena is that it's like in a TV, it's in the TV world obviously, but like the way the victory screens are depicted and all this sort of stuff, like it's obviously going to be Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. And I'd be very interested to see if they add like any new characters. I know originally Joker was supposed to be part of the game. He's in the game's files. I also know that originally Arc Systems wanted Dojima and Nanako playable, but then like Atlas was like, no, that's stupid. Why would you want that? So maybe they might get in the game finally. I also hope that it would have rollback, and obviously it's been rumored for a while, so just there's not much to talk about. If you know about Arena Ultimax, then you kind of already know what to expect. Maybe they'll add like shadow versions of characters that didn't have shadow variations originally, but we'll see. All right, so let's move on. So let's say that's like the only Persona 4 thing. I kind of expect like one of the other announcements that they're just porting all the Persona dancing games onto Steam, right? Like that kind of makes sense. I think one of those will be it, right? I don't know like what, but I expect it, right? Another thing too, I should just get this right out of the way, but I do think Persona 6 will be announced. I don't know if it'll be like the last announcement or one of the ones in between, but I do expect Persona 6 to be revealed. I mean, they literally have been hinting at it, so yeah, I expect Persona 6 to be revealed. So far we have the dancing games, Arena Ultimax, and Persona 6, right? So that's 3 out of the 4. As for the others, well, let's go over it. I think for Persona 5, they're going to have one more Persona 5 game. Now it could be styled as Persona 5 Royal, how that game is. It'll just be a sequel to that, but it'll take place after Strikers, in which they'll have to explain how the two characters in Royal, if you know who you know, didn't show up in Strikers. So we'll see. Now whether it is styled as like a Persona 5 Arena, sequel to Persona 4 Arena, or whatever type of other spin-off game, I'm not too sure, but I kind of just expect one more Persona 5 game, definitely one more Persona 5 game somewhere in the works, okay? So now we have 3 games left, and obviously we have 3 other protagonists left. So what I think one of these is going to be is, I think it's going to be not a Persona 3 remake per se, but rather like a Persona 3 compilation. So say you get a Persona 3 Fez, obviously with the answer, and Persona 3 Portable, so the female protagonist. I also think that for the female protagonist, they're gonna like, how do I say this? I think they might like either stick to what they did, where it was like a point and click sort of thing, or they might actually just outright remake like Persona 3 so that the female MC has like visual scenes, because the way it was in Portable was, I guess because the PSP just wasn't that great of a system, they didn't really like visually show characters interacting. It was more so like text of dialogue and like their portraits. And one of the characters that suffered from this the most was Koromaru, because Koromaru, he's a dog. He, unless you have Aegis with you, you can't understand what Koromaru is saying. And Koromaru has a social link, so it just sort of like, it's all tell, not showing. So Koromaru could have definitely benefited from that. But hey, I think that's one of the things they could do. Or we might just outright get a Persona 3 remake, maybe. Now for the last two, I think one of two possibilities. Okay, my prediction is we're gonna get ports of Persona 1 and 2, you know, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. Okay, I just like to mess with people and say Persona 2 Sin and Punishment, but yeah, I guess that's how I like to say it, you know, when referring to both games, because you get it, so it's a reference. But I think they might do it as a compilation, right? So like Persona Classic or something like that, where you play through the first 3 games, right? I think they could do that. But my most wanted, you know, my hope is that Persona 1 and Persona 2 Sin and Punishment get a remake, at least one of those 2 games, right? Because people need to experience these stories, in my opinion. Obviously I don't want to spoil it, right? But like, people really need to really see these games for what they are, because like, for instance, Persona 2, even though I will joke about it a lot, it's kind of unfortunate that the only thing people know from Persona 2 is that can I even say his name without without getting in trouble with YouTube? You just know that he's in the game, okay? You know that the Fuhrer is in the game. You got the shades and all that, okay? That's all that people know for that game. And that's so upsetting, because like, for instance, like, there are things that are like questioned in Persona 5 Royal, where like there's a character that references higher beings, and in Persona 1 and 2 you see who those characters are, you know. Before the Velvet Room attendants, you can actually see who sings in the Velvet Room, who plays the music in the Velvet Room. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I love, you know, Persona 1 and 2 for their stories. I hope in my heart of hearts they get remade, but that's probably not gonna happen, right? I mean, the main issue is that Persona 1 and 2, they're so different from 3, 4, and 5, you know. I mean, sure, like some of these are like school kids, but like there's obviously like adults, whatever. Every character, like every playable character, is literally a wild card, if you want to think of it like that. And there aren't really things like social links, right? Like there aren't really any like social link type things in Persona 1 and 2. Like obviously you get character interactions and some great ones, especially with Maya over here. Maya has some great interactions, especially with driving, if you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, that's what I want. Like that's what I hope. So I expect either a port or remakes. Now if it's remakes, then it covers both, right? But if it's a port, I expect all 3 of those games to be in one package. But if there's space for one more, my hope is that they have a Persona Q3, right? So for my last one, it's a Persona Q3. But unlike before, where it only covered 3, 4, and then when Persona Q2 came out, 5 and portable, I would love it if they had everyone. Because at the end of the day, right? Yeah, Persona 1 and 2 are different, but they're still part of Persona. The fact that 1 and 2 don't get any love is really upsetting, you know, to me, because I learned about Persona through these games, and it's just so unfortunate that they don't get the recognition that they deserve. Now they are, because it's the anniversary, but like, imagine without the anniversary, I would not see modern art of Boy with the Earring or Tetsuya or Maya, you know what I mean? Like, why? It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. I want more. But maybe it's just because I'm greedy, I don't know. So my main hope is that, right? Those are kind of what I want, my predictions in a way. Me mainly, like it would be so sick if we had like a Persona, you know, fighting game, like a sequel to 4 Renoltonics, but it actually featured like at least Tetsuya, Maya, and Boy with the Earring. Come on, like, and they'd obviously be adults at this point, right? Like they'd be older, or maybe like if you know the ending of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, then you kind of know what happens with Tetsuya. I wonder, like could they make like a spin-off or side story of like what Tetsuya did after the ending of Eternal Punishment? Like I want to see that sort of stuff. I know I'm wishing too much. I know I'm a loser just wanting Persona 1 and 2 stuff, but it's so unfortunate. Like I would love to see more people at least experience these games, right? But they won't. Most people won't. They'll start at 5, end at 3, or start at 3, end at 5, but never will they ever play Persona 1 and 2. Like, come on, why? I want it so badly. I mean, okay, and last thing, for and it's not like a game. I just mean like in general. I would love a soundtrack CD just featuring only remixes of music from all of these games. All right, I'm talking, I want a remix of Counter-Strike. Oh my god, I want a remix of Alone Prayer. Oh, please. I forgot the name of the Persona 2 intros, but I want a remix of those. Imagine a remix of Shadow World. Oh, that'd be great. And for Persona 3, well, if we're talking about like, you know, Makoto Yuki side of things, I would love a remix. It's like there's so many remixes of like Burn My Dread and all that, but I want a remix of, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Dorm theme. That it's like, so dance while I put you in a trance. I'm probably gonna put it on for this entirety of the video. That's all you're gonna hear. And then for the female MC, just any remixes, because all of her tracks, like all of her original tracks, are so wonderful. Oh man, I love them all. But yeah, like I'd hope we get something like that. I think that'd be super cool. And yeah, now as for Persona 6 and a potential Persona 5 Arena, let's say like hypothetically, I'm actually gonna make separate videos covering those, going more in depth into what I would like to see. I already kind of have a theory as to what I would love for Persona 6 to be, and it'd be really cool. So if you look forward to that, hey, stick around. I'll definitely make those videos. I don't know if they'll be out like very soon, but I'll definitely make those. So with that all being said, please take care of yourselves, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Peace.
I'm coming through, partner, we can do this right. You're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. Burning dread, haha, that's right, baby.